Today I want to show you something I've just created for helping on Node.js Lambda services to use AWS AppConfig feature flags or configurations. So if you want to know a bit more, it's like on AWS Systems Manager, you have AppConfig, which you can create a bunch of configurations. In this case, I have like a configuration for enabling or disabling my Lambda, and it's like a random number generator, and then it can define the minimum and maximum value for this random number generator. And I want to show you how this library can help you. Okay, so what this library does is it's a Middy middleware. You can use it as a standalone library also, but we have like the Middy middleware flavor. And what it does is it creates like a pooling on top of AWS AppConfig using the AWS SDK for sure. And then it stores in the cache. From time to time, it gets the newer configuration if available, and then it stores to the cache. And every time that your request comes here, it will just query this data on the cache itself. So your query, when we have a request coming in, then it won't have to take time to go to AppConfig or anything because it will be already on cache, right? And then it will attach to your context, in your handler as a special variable like AppConfigure dot and then your configuration. The same thing that you created here will be available in this place here in your context. So in order to create it, you just you create the reference, you install the library, and then you reference here as in the chain of middlewares. You indicate the application ID, the profile ID, with are things that you can see on the AppConfig itself. Environment ID also is something from AppConfig, and then the name of the feature flag and the pooling interval. The 300 is like 5 minutes is the default time. And if this feature flag is disabled on AWS AppConfig, then this function won't run. The idea here is when you are creating like feature flag based releases on your pipeline, especially when you have a huge monorepo and you want to have only a single main branch, and then you are having the main branch always prepared for production, and then you can tweak or disable certain features of your, in this case, a new Lambda, for example, right? So if you, in this repository here, we have a complete example. If you click here on example, it's a complete example based on serverless. And in this serverless file, I've enabled a lot of things here because I was X-raying, I was looking at the traces to check if everything was going well with the library, especially when we are like updating the value of the configuration. Okay, and if we take a look here, the code itself for the handler. This is the real deal. So we have the handler, then here we have the Middy configuration. In this case here, I configured just to update each other 15 seconds just for showing you now. And then we have a special flag that enable Lambda, which was configured here. This is the enabled Lambda. The flag itself, enable Lambda. Okay, and then it's a Middy middleware that we'll call my handler here, and the handler can access, see, via context, the flag, the feature flag, and some attributes from the feature flag, which is something from AppConfig also. And in this case, I'm making it like define the maximum and minimum value for the randomly generated value in this very simple example. Okay, so I've deployed it already in my own account, If you want to test on your own, you just configure your AWS SDK client on your shell here, and then you type this stage dev make deploy, and we will run. But now we don't have anything new to run because I configure an X to check if anything changed on the files. If it is not changing, it won't call the deployment operation. Okay. And then here we can call the actual API. This is the API that was deployed, and as you can see, it's the code deploy, code start, so it will take like 4 seconds, and now it's, yeah, nice, it's faster. And I will do like a watch here, just for us to keep seeing the updates. Each other second it will update, and then we can change the flag, the feature flag. Let's disable it in this case, enable Lambda, disable, save new version. That's very cool because you have a lot of different versions. If you make something wrong, you can just go roll back, and you can attach alarms to AppConfig also. But this is another story. And here we're gonna deploy, and everything will get the same value. So in this case, we are seeing that the function is working, but I disabled the feature flag, and I start the deployment. Hopefully in 15 seconds mostly it will stop working. Yeah, because okay, now my service stopped working because I disabled it, and I can re-enable it again. And now, do you remember we were generating numbers around 700,000 to 800,000? Let's change this. It is something that it's very cool, because then we can tweak some of the things that we have on our application also. So in this case, we will start generating from max value is 3, minimum is 2. So from 2 to 300. Yes, save new version and start deployment. So we are enabling the feature flag and changing some internal parameters that are used on the feature flag. And let's see, mostly in 15 seconds, the pooling will take place. That is something that is being done in background, and it will update the cache, and then the middleware will get the newer configuration parameter from cache, and then the Lambda function will start working with the newer version. Yeah, long 15 seconds. Oh, maybe something. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't hit start deploy. Yeah. It's very good when we find what we did, especially when we did something that is easy to fix. Yeah, go, 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 go. Maybe the parameters that I used are not, maybe they are wrong. Let's check. Oh, it's disabled. I forgot to enable. I changed the attribute but forgot to enable, so I will enable it again. Okay. Oh, nice. Now it's supposed to work. Let's see. Voila. Yeah, and it worked in the newer range, and the function started working again. And if we take a look here, it's all integrated into X-Ray. In this case, I integrated all these calls on X-Ray. So if we take a look here, we can see all the traces. And if we click on one of those traces, we can see that most of them are not running, are not calling the API for AppConfig, and other traces are calling naturally each other 15 seconds. And that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. Bye bye.